Hello, gorgeous Taurians. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm Emma, and whilst I'm kind of new to YouTube, I'm not new to doing this at all. I've been doing it for many years. You're welcome to find out more about me. I'll pop a link to my website in the description. But right now, I'm here for your April 21 readings, and I feel really good about April for you, Taurus. This is feeling it's feeling lovely. That's what I want to say is I feel like the themes for April are going to be very lovely and very supportive of you. And there is this big theme about you, Taurus. So I'm going to explore with you what I felt tuning into your energy prior to making this video. And then I'm going to pull 3 cards to sort of layer the themes and also explore if there are other themes coming up for April. And towards the end of this video, we'll pull one for relationships as well and see what comes up there. But right now, let me just tell you, the message that I got for you, Taurus, for April is you're on your way. You are on your way. Now, I do want to say happy birthday to any of our April Taurians because I was really cautious that I didn't want to forget that. So let me just put it out there. Happy birthday to any April Taurians. You guys are on your way. And I really feel like this is a layered theme. The first thing that stands out to me is that you're on your way, Taurus. Your way, and your way of doing things, your way of being in this world, your way of moving through this world, your way of seeing this world, your way of experiencing this world has always been so different to other people. And there is a lot of encouragement through April towards your way of doing things. And I feel like through sort of following that through and seeing where it takes you, I feel like you're going to receive quite a lot of external validation that people think your way is a great way, even though maybe they didn't initially think of it. I do feel like we are encouraging you now to move out and move in and engage with the world in a different way. Although you may have spent quite a bit of time sort of stood a step back from the world, and that has been the right decision. It's not just because of the COVID restrictions. There's this feeling of taking a stance back, and it may be because you've been going through healing, you've been going through processing, perhaps you have just been exhausted and you haven't had time for the world in its entirety. There's going to be individual reasons for every different individual Taurus, but there has been this stepping back from the world, and it's not a massive stepping back. You've not completely checked out on the world. It's just been this one step in. I feel like through April, there are more steps out into the world. And I feel like these are going to be very natural steps. I don't think you'll have to play hide and seek. I feel like you will follow where you want to go. And at the same time, I feel like you might have some internal questionings about whether you're not only allowed to go there, but whether you're allowed to do it in a way that feels resonant to you. And it did come up, I'll be honest, it did come up for April, this internal questioning where you ask yourself, am I allowed? Am I allowed? And it does feel like, am I allowed to go there with this? Am I allowed to do that? And it's almost as though there is encouragement here from, people, but also spirit world and the universe that says, yes, please do. We want you here. We want you to go there. You may be offered opportunity for work. You may be offered opportunity to start a new business. You may be it does feel like you're being offered opportunity here. And it does feel like for some of you, you are coming up with new ideas for yourself. So it's, again, individual Taurians are going to experience this differently. But it does feel like there are a lot of people around you saying, this is a great idea. Go for it. Do it. And at the same time, there's this part of you going, am I allowed? Am I allowed? Am I allowed this? Am I allowed to be celebrated? Am I allowed to feel good about what I'm doing? Am I allowed to be proud? Am I allowed to share what I think is knowledge? Am I allowed this recognition? Am I allowed to go bigger? Am I allowed to go play in these arenas? Am I allowed? And the answer is yes. Yes, you are allowed. Please. We've been waiting for you. Come into the world, Taurus. But what I love about this is, even though there is this feeling of, you know, you being on your way now, there's some movement, there's some momentum, there's that going forward, there's stepping into new things, and it does feel like a leveling up for you, Taurus. Like, and that's probably where you're feeling provoked in these questionings, because it is a leveling up. It is taking you further and recognizing that you are very ready for this level of living and this level of life experience. Whilst there is that movement, there is also this parallel theme of, okay, I'm doing this, but I'm doing it my way. And I feel like a lot of that which you're engaging with has the potential to be quite abundant and fruitful and fulfilling and rewarding because you're doing it your way. It might be that some of the things you're about to do, we kind of need it done the way you do it, because so many other people maybe have tried this or are putting something similar out in the world. And we need this uniqueness that you bring to the table. We need your personality, your voice, your perspective, your ideas. And we want that. So you are doing it differently, which I think is going to make you question, because it might be that what you're aiming for, or what you're stepping into, or what you want to create, or what you want to experience has been done similarly by other people that you've witnessed. And you're questioning whether you have to do it the way they've done it, if you have to put in what they put in, if you had to climb the same ladder rungs and go down the same pathways to get where you want to go. But I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like the way that you get where you want to be, that you step into the things you want to step into, it's very reflective of you as a person. It feels like, of course you can do it your way. Of course, that's the only way you could do it. And we don't want it to look like other people's ways. And we don't want you to feel like it has to be as hard as the way other people have done it. I feel like the way that you do it, because it's very reflective of you, Taurus, it actually is going to make it easier. You might find you fast track to your abundance because you're doing something that honors you. And it's so reflective of you, and it's so connected to you, and it's so beautiful and beautifully you, that somehow that creates such good vibrations and brings things in a much bigger way, and maybe even takes you further than other people have been, because you're being true to you and your way's not been done before. So we are very much encouraging you. You are on your way this month, and you might find that April presents opportunity to choose in order to get this practice in, right? So it might be that through April, we are offering you more opportunity. You are going into the world. You are having new ideas. Oh, we've got a card fall out. New inspirations. And you're really feeling new connections and conversations. There is a buzz around you. You shouldn't be bored in April, Taurus. There is a buzz around you. But you might find that some of the conversation presenting itself in its very appearance asks you to remain true to yourself, right? It might be that you're having a conversation with somebody that loves your idea, but they want to twist it a bit. And you have to vocalize, like, I like where you're going with that, but I need to stay true to myself, and this is what feels good for me, or I need to work in this way, or I can only offer this much of what you're asking of me. I think you will find that, yes, you're getting out there, you're beginning, things are starting. And in layering you up and getting you practiced in this honoring of yourself, you may have to actually vocalize it. I do think that's coming. I do think you will have to make decisions of how you want it to look, how you want to do it. And I do believe that the reason you have to make those decisions is because it came up. It's come up. And now you have to choose. You have to choose, but you're going to choose you, and you're going to be amazed at how everything works out, and you'll be amazed that you can honor yourself and you can do it your way. And all of this stuff that's going on in April around you being on your way and honoring that and claiming that and vocalizing that, it's practice for more later, because you've got quite an abundant year ahead with a lot of fuller life experiences and going places that you want to go. And we are just getting you practiced so that you make these decisions now. When we offer you the really big decisions that have to be made later, we know that you're in practice of being true to you and getting that momentum going. So this is all kind of like, it's all very new, but it's also part of something bigger. And I think that that's quite thrilling. So do step into when something asks you, something in your world asks you to stand up for yourself and choose what you want. Do it. Go for it. It doesn't have to be serious, right? It could just be somebody saying, oh, I know you said you wanted this in pink, but I think it'd look a lot better in green. And you go, well, I want the pink. I like your perspective there, but I just see it as pink and I'm sticking by my vision. It might be that someone says, hey, you're so great that we want you to work, 6 extra hours a week. And you say, well, I thank you that you love me and you want me here so much, but I actually can't honor those 6 hours a week because it doesn't feel true to how I want to live my week. So I can't do that. I just see you having ample opportunity to kind of own your way, but it doesn't feel antagonistic. So you've got nothing to worry about. It's all this practicing. But what I think would be really fun for you is if each time you choose something for yourself, you acknowledge it and just really solidify that you are allowed to choose, that you're good at choosing. It's just going to really layer that confidence of choice for you, Taurus. So with that in mind, I'm shuffling my rider weights to pull 3 more cards to sort of follow on and see what other themes are coming up for you. And what I love is, like, the card that fell out when I was shuffling is the Emperor. I kept him out, obviously. And we actually have here this position of power. And I feel like this is you, Taurus, taking the position of power. You deserve to be there. It may not be in a strong power dynamic. It may be just, within your family, within your friend circle, or just, within the project you want to make. But it could also be, in a situation that's at work or something, right? And I just see you knowing that your voice matters. I feel like for some of you, not all of you, some other people may not understand why you are receiving praise and you are receiving listening ears and why you are getting these opportunities. I feel like some people might question what you've done to deserve that. Why do you get that? What do you know, Taurus? But it's not being done so vocally. So don't worry, I'm not concerned that you're coming up into arguments or conflict. You don't have to freak out. I just feel like you're going to sense it. You're going to sense that people are not clapping for your wins, right? And that there is this feeling of maybe you haven't earned your way up the ranks enough, and what they don't realize is that what you're bringing to the table naturally, Taurus, means that you didn't have to climb the ranks because you kind of came in at that rank. You came in at this place because you want it. You come in at this place for the right reasons. Your heart's in the right place. You're bringing a lot to the table. And actually, for some of you, you really did earn this. You really did earn this. You put in what other people are not willing to put in. And that is in the form of not only through stuff like work, but through life experience. I feel like you have a huge amount of life experience, and it's your maturity as a person, it's your own sense of becoming that has got you into this position of power where you now get to choose your own way, and you now get to receive the rewards and the abundance of that way that you have honored in recent years. There is a massive thing with you taking your place in this world, isn't there, really? And really honoring who you are as a person, and that you're allowed this stuff. Remember, you're allowed it. They might go, why are they allowed it and I don't have it? And you'll just know, well, because I want it and I put in a lot to get here. And you don't need to explain it by all means, but you will know internally why you have got what you've got, and why things are working out the way they are, and why you're going into the areas you are, and where your passion comes from. I think that's big. Only you know where your passion comes from for this. No one else knows. And it does feel like, again, this is us just, calling you into voicing every now and then, this is what I want. This is the way I see it. This is the way I would love to mold it. This is the way I want to play with it. This is the way I want to create it. And receiving, like I got King of Pentacles next, right? So receiving, that's the receiving your admiration and your praise and your acknowledgement and being of value. I do think that's going to be very vocal for you in April, where you are receiving a lot of outside celebration of you. And it does feel very respectful, that people respect your voice, respect your opinion, respect your gift, respect what you are bringing in to these environments. And I think what this is going to do is, this is all building your confidence, Taurus. And why are we building your confidence? Because there's more coming. I think once we come back to this in May, and as we travel through the rest of the year, you're going to realize that you've been being prepared for some very big opportunities. And April is like this prep month, but it's fun. We've got Temperance next. So our third and final card from these three is Temperance. And this is you really playing with your world. This is alchemy. This is taking all that's inside of you and playing with your outside world so that it reflects that. It's playing with it and not expecting it to be in its solid form. Say, right, I'm going to tweak this bit here and I'm going to change that bit there and I'm going to layer this. And it's only when I'm playing with it that I can actually feel it and see what it means to me and what I want to evolve and what I want to layer and what I want to develop and invest in. And we've got you learning through the living of it. And that actually really does line up with all these other things that we've been looking at here about you choosing your own way. Like if we look at all those again, right? We've got you out there taking charge of your world, owning your way, being on your way. There's a lot of movement. Like this is no longer the thinking of it, but the living of it. Do you know, like the living of it? And that's you vocalizing it all and being involved and standing by yourself and knowing that it's going to actually bring you the right people, that it's going to get you the places you want to go. And none of this can be done from the sidelines. We've got a lot of living experience here for you. So you've got quite a busy April coming. And it may come just through lots of different conversations, internal dialogue conversations. You know what I'm saying, that internal dialogue where we are sort of layering and transforming the way we talk to ourselves. I am allowed this. I think that's probably where it's going to start, right? I am allowed this. I am allowed a place in my world. I am allowed to figure it out for myself. I am allowed to create my vision. I am allowed to have fun. I am allowed to enjoy my life. I am allowed to be abundant. And then allowing that to trickle out into your world in conversations with others from a very relaxed, knowing place. Like this isn't defensive. This isn't you saying, I'm allowed it because I'm a nice person. I've worked really hard. This is you just sort of standing your ground out in the world because you know it. You've had that internal dialogue and now we're going to have these external conversations that say, I am actually going to do it my way if that's okay. Or I have a really great idea. I'd love to see where that goes first. And it does feel like we are just really building your confidence, really building confidence through living experience for bigger things later. And I love this. I love that you've got the assurance of new beginnings this month, as well as the assurance of, and there's more to come. So enjoy it, get stuck in, get beginning. It does feel really good for you, Taurus. So let's reiterate, you are on your way. I keep getting that song in my head. I don't even know who sings it. I'm on my way. Da, 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 da. Maybe you need to listen to that. Is it Ed Sheeran? I feel like it might be Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is a man on his way. Yeah, that's his way. And now everybody wants his way and pay him lots of money for his way. Be more Ed. No, be you, Taurian. But be you, Taurus. Don't be Ed. But know that, Ed could be one of our inspirations, can't he? Okay, so I'm going to pull one card now that focuses on relationship themes for April. And we have the Hermit. Now, I know that if we were going traditional card meaning, we could assume, a retraction, a retreat from relationship. I don't feel that to be true. I'm an intuitive reader, so I'm going to go intuitively. What I feel is, because everything actually suggests you're going out there in the world, they don't see you retreating from relationship at all. So whether you're in union or whether you are single, I don't feel a retraction or a withdrawal. But I do feel that there's a theme throughout April that is encouraging turning inwards and really checking in with what you want, with how you feel before you articulate that. I think sometimes when we feel like we haven't had that confidence in expressing our own wants, our own choices, our own desires, and we're not sure we're allowed to, we're not sure they're going to be honored, we're not sure if we're allowed to have this kind of stuff in relationship. Am I allowed to say this? Am I allowed to want it this way? I think sometimes what happens is we tend to stuff it down. And then when we feel our standards are being railroaded, we can be reactionary. And then so we squash it down, we don't say anything for a while, and then we go, boom, panic. We start to cut things off and shut them down, and we can get quite aggressive. We can get withdrawn in sort of a very dark, moody place because we just feel like we're not going to be heard. And I think what we're looking for here is this non-reactive state. Just because in the past you may have felt that your voice hasn't had a place within relationship, or that your voice hasn't been respected, or that your voice hasn't been honored, I don't feel like that's happening at the same volume now. And I feel like through April we will be providing space for you to be heard. And what I love about this is I see there being opportunity when you are expressing your wants from a grounded place. You can be nervous. Oh my God, I've never said this before. I've never asked for this before. This is a big new conversation. You can be nervous and grounded, right? You've had that internal check-in. And when you're expressing these wants, I think you might be quite surprised how people meet you in a new way. Now, that could be that you are now expressing to your current partner what it is that you're wanting, what you're thinking about, what you're feeling, what you want to grow, what you want to transform. You may be expressing some very different feelings that usually you would shy away from sharing. And I think you may be surprised as you articulate that, how people are more understanding, that your partner might be more understanding than you thought they were going to be. And it might be that you just got bad experiences from the past where you said that before, someone punished you for even saying it. And I think you may be surprised that you're able to be more expressive and that you are able to be heard. And I do feel like in new experience with relationships, because I do think there's opportunity for that in April, Taurus. If you are single and looking for brand new experiences, I do believe you're going to be introduced to people that you can be yourself with, that you can ask, actually, can we do it this way? Can we slow it down? Can we put in plans? I maybe don't like going to that pub. Can we go to a different place? Or I'm not really into these kind of dates. Would you mind? What do you think about this? And you might find that you're telling them your passions and interests and they're actually into it. And I also feel you might be quite surprised that the more you vocalize your own standard of living and your own ways and your own wants, that people go, oh, I've not had anyone say that to me before. I quite like that. That's a really different way of looking at it. And I think people are going to be reflecting back to you this respect of your truth, because every time you turn inwards to ask yourself what it is I want, how do I feel about this? How do I see it feeling good for me going forward? That's you respecting your truth. That's you respecting your heart. And I think the more you do it and the more you stand by it, I think you're going to be quite surprised that other people are willing to be respectful of your heart as well. And so this is a real opportunity for depth of connection, for healing the stories of the past, for rewriting it for yourself and knowing that you are safe to be inside relationship, that you are safe inside your relationships, that you can be yourself and that you can express yourself and that your way matters. And I think you've got, you know, some conversation here that suggests do go inside first, you know, maybe even calm down. So if you're, sometimes I think things can be quite triggering and people can say things that they don't mean to be triggering, but just are, you know, just are triggering. I didn't know you were going to say that thing and it was going to trigger me, you know, like, and I think it's going inwards every time you feel a bit wobbly. Ooh, because when you're called forward for new connection, deep connection, expressive connection, authentic connection, often we're saying things we've never said before. Often we're being called to into these experiences that we want to do differently. This is all very vulnerable. This is all very vulnerable. It's all growth. And I think it's natural to be triggered. It's natural to feel wobbly. And I think that's why it's really good to just come in first, check in with yourself, and remind yourself, I am allowed to say these things. I am allowed to ask. I am allowed to want. I am allowed to put my ideas of relationship out there. And that would suggest to me that there is opportunity here within relationship to go to new places, to go to different areas, and to have very different full experiences this month. Because otherwise, who are you doing that with? You wouldn't be doing it with, you're not doing it on your own. This is co-creative. Hermit looks very individual and very internal, and it is, you know, and that honors the practice of coming back to self, checking in with individual need and wants and feelings and honoring them. But the conversational part is co-creative. So you've got people here, you know, relationship is definitely one of the areas that will be bubbling up, that you'll be on your way with, and you will be invited into expressing what your way is. And I think that that's really cool. So you've got stuff to look forward to in April, right? Ooh, fun. So please do come back to me and please do check in and let me know, like, where are you expressing yourself, Taurus? What is it you're doing differently? Where are you standing by yourself? What is your way? And where are you being celebrated for it? That's the stuff I also want to hear about, right? I want to know when you did stand your way, when you do stand your way, when you do honor that, what happened? What happens next? Because it's honoring that that's going to really solidify the confidence later. So come back and tell me. Come back and tell me when somebody has checked in with you and has said, oh, I love that. Or when it's just gone differently to what you thought it might. Come back, tell me about it. I'd love to hear your personal experiences of choosing your own way. Now, I will be back here next month, but in the meantime, you're very welcome to join me in my new community on Patreon. It's blossoming, it's new. I'd love to have you there. I'm doing daily card readings, a weekly conversational video, as well as I'm hoping to start doing a live conversation too. And I'd love you to come and join in the fun. It's going to be really awesome. And you can book in for one-to-one readings with me on my website. I'll put a link down there. And I've got Facebook. So, I'm everywhere. We can have fun everywhere. Come and play with me and let's share in life together. It's going to be good. And I will be back for your May readings at the end of April. So sending you all the love for a very your way April, Taurus. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. See you later.